What is going on, guys and gals? This is part 3 of me solving my mom's murder. If you haven't seen 1 and 2, you gotta see those first. So part 3, I left off in part 2 about I found an address and a phone number for my father. And I dialed the number. He answered the phone. This is what happened. He answered the phone, and I said, "Hey." He said, "Who's this?" I said, "This is your son." He goes, "Huh?" I said, "This is your son, Brent." "Oh, hey." Like, not, "Oh, hey," like, "I'm so happy to hear from you." Just, "Oh, hey," like, "Oh, hell." That's how I took it. So rather than me starting off with anything negative, like, "Why'd you kill my mom?" Anything like that. I just, "Hey, how are you? I'm glad I was able to get in touch with you, man. You've been hard to find, uh, things like that." I could tell pretty much instantly, just like with the phone call with his brother when I was trying to track him down. My dad didn't want to be on that phone call. He did not want to be on that phone call at all. So I pretty much just, "Hey, how are you? Where you been? How you been doing? Um, it's good to hear from you." I pretty much just played it off as, "Oh my God, I found my father, so excited," when I really wasn't. In the back of my mind, I'm just wanting to strangle the crap out of him. But I kept my cool. And, I told him, I said, "Hey, you got 3 grandkids. I have 3 kids, all boys, that you've never seen, you know." He didn't even ask what their names were. This is just, excuse me, this is just as cold hearted as could be. There's just so many red flags up, it's insane. But I keep playing it off. I'm like, "Hey, would it be cool if one day I came to you, we met in a public place, and just sat down and had lunch together? My treat, We just talk and catch up on times." And he goes, "Sure, yeah, that'd be okay." And in my head, I'm thinking, yes. So my plan is to meet up with him, record it without him knowing, of course, and get him to confess. Because without a confession, there's not enough. It's all speculation, and I need a confession out of him. I know it. He knows it. What he did. So we wasn't even on the phone long, maybe 20 minutes. Mind you, this is the first time from 2000, the year 2000 to 2018 is where we're at now, that I have talked to him, his son. In 20 minutes, he's not saying hardly anything, but does agree for us to meet up sometime. So I'm like, cool. hang up. That would be the last time I've spoke to him. So, we were supposed to meet up. We didn't arrange what day and what time and where. But when we hung up on that phone, it was, we were going to meet up. So, a couple days go by maybe. I'll call back. No answer. Voicemail. Okay. Hey, this is your son, blah, blah, blah. No phone call back. Okay. A few days, maybe a couple weeks go by, I call again. So nobody's answering the phone. Nobody's calling back. Same voicemail. It's okay. So I get in my car. Remember, I'm in Florida. I drive to Kentucky. North Carolina. Because I got his address too. So, I'm in a small SUV. This is in the back country, middle nowhere, like dirt roads, bad terrain type of deal. GPS ain't working. No cell service. I find a road. It actually is a dirt road climbing up a mountain. And nobody has numbers on their houses. Nobody has mailboxes. It's middle of nowhere. So I could not find his house. I just drove, 600 miles or something for nothing. Which is a good thing because I don't know what would have happened if I would have found his house and he answered the door. Because at this point, not only do I know he did something to my mom, now he's avoiding me. Now that he knows my phone number, he knows I know where he's at. He is not in any way, shape, or form trying to talk to me or see me or nothing. I remind you, that phone call we had was 100% casual. There was no blaming of any kind, me being rude, disrespectful, or anything. I gave him no reason not to want to talk to me again, at least, So I come back down to Florida. And I go to the police department here, which is where my mom was found, and the ones that, I wouldn't even call it an investigation, but the ones that found their body. And say, hey, tell them the story. This is where he's at. They don't care. They don't want to do nothing. Actually, I went to the police department every single day for a week before anybody would even talk to me. And the person that talked to me was just the sergeant on duty from street patrol. That was it. And you can fill out a report, turn it in. That's it. Nothing was done. So I get on the phone and I call the sheriff's department in the county that my father's at. And I say, hey, can you go there and check on him? I've talked to him. It's been a couple weeks. I can't get him to answer the phone. I just want to make sure he's okay. All right. Once again, I got to play a part. Because it's insane what you got to do. Because if I'd have called them and say, hey, they have no jurisdiction over Florida anyway. So the crime happened in Florida. They're not going to do anything. So I had to play it off as the loving son who's worried about his father's, So, the sheriff up there goes. Obviously, the sheriff knows the area and found the house and said his girlfriend answered the door. And he's okay. He was at work, but he's still there. Okay. So that phone number is a landline, so he's still there. in that house. He's purposely not answering the phone or returning my voicemails or anything. So then I called his family. Because at this point we had been talking for a few years, just here and there, whatever. They claimed they didn't know where he was at. So I called and said, hey, I found him, And of course they knew. They've been talking to him. They're like, oh yeah, he said that you called, and he's afraid that you're trying to frame him for your mom's death. That's why he's not answering the phone. That's why he don't want to see you. Really? So you've been in contact with him. You know where he's at, and haven't been. Obviously, didn't want to tell me. And now he's scared. He is scared as can be. And this is 2022, so it's been 3-4 years now. And to this day, he won't answer the phone. He will not answer the phone. I know he's living with a woman. I don't know her name. I know she has a kid. The kid is like grown teenager or adult teenager, a little older now. I know he's a custodian. And that's it. So I've came to a point of what the heck do I do next? If I can't meet up with him willingly, he's not willing to even do anything. He knows something. He did something. And I guess he's going to take it to his grave. Because now he's, 60 years old. He's been running for 22 years. At what point? At what point can he just be a damn man? And we all make mistakes. We all do things, good and bad. But at the end of the day, there's people that care about my mom. People just want to know the truth, But some people is just going to take those secrets to the grave. So at this point, what do you do? The police have done nothing from day one. And I know he did it. He knows he did it. And so I'm coming up with game plan number 47, I guess we're at now. I don't know what game plan number I'm at, but yeah, there's always something. There's always, you gotta find a hot girl that'll, send her to him, and I don't know, get him to talk. I don't know. That's not really a good plan, but whatever works. So for 22 years, I've been a detective. I've been trying to solve this, and it's unfortunately, there's so much on the police side that they didn't do. That would have narrowed down time frames. That can never be proven now. There's, the Greyhound situation that should have had records of who's on their buses and where they left from and where they're going to. But they failed. So we just keep going. Sometimes I go a long time without doing anything. Because I just don't have, I know nothing to do. I don't know what to do, I should say. And, one day I'll wake up and I'll be like, hey, try this. And I'll try it. So If you guys got any ideas, please let me know. I've got friends who's got friends, their parents are work in the sheriff's office, and people who would help me. But unfortunately, with laws and jurisdictions and stuff like that, like I said, there's no evidence because they didn't collect any evidence. So it comes down simply to getting a confession out of him. And unfortunately, the police won't go and even question him. But he's never been questioned. Even when I've told them where he's at, they won't even go question him. So it's up to me. And I think that I deserve answers, and that my mom's family deserves answers, and that my father needs to be, he needs to do some time. He needs to do his time. He needs to spend the rest of his life in prison. So if you guys got any ideas, please comment below. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. There will be another part. I think we're up to part 4 now that we're going to do. And there's still a lot of in-betweens that I never talked about. But yeah, we'll just keep going at it here till we get it. 22 years, I ain't gave up yet. So thanks for watching.